Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Cloud Native Coffee Hour. My name is Dan McCracken, and I'm here with my good friend, Dan Makita. Say hello, Dan.
Hello, good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Happy June 26th. Very exciting today. Very excited.
What are you excited about today?
We are going to do one more stream on Talos. I don't know if we're going to do any more after this. We might, but I think this will put a nice little cap on our exploration of the tool. And I have the intention of creating kind of a short, succinct YouTube video that kind of captures all this, and then we can upload that soon. So I'm excited.
Very good. All right. So, automating and building Talos clusters. We've done it all by hand. I think the biggest takeaway is we online identified just the tiniest little detail in their documentation in regard to getting an SD card to put in a Raspberry Pi and making sure that sucker boots properly. You love to see it. I wish it was one step, but it is 3.
You know, I was prepping for today and discovered yet another thing. So I was prepping. I got 7 SD cards ready to go, following all the steps that we went through in our last few streams. And I'm like, I've got it now. We figured it out. You have to, you flash the EEPROM, the SD card boot image thingy on to the card, and then you put it into a Raspberry Pi to initialize it, more or less, right? That's what we just decided. Mm-hmm. And then you're done, you pull it out, then you can flash the Talos image on it, right?
That's what we thought.
So I did that, and I just used a Raspberry Pi. I just had the Raspberry Pi here, and I'm just like, I kept putting every single SD card in that Raspberry Pi to initialize it, and then I do the thing. Turns out, and I care about my viewers. I care about the viewers, so I did a little bit of research, because I keep saying in every stream, I don't know what this thing does, but we're just gonna move on, because we're focused on the Kubernetes aspect or the Talos aspect. Turns out, after doing some research, the reason you have to do that step where you put it into a Pi to initialize it is it actually writes the UUID and some hardware information to it for that specific Raspberry Pi.
Oh my gosh.
So right before the stream started, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to bore the audience and have them wait for me to put these cards in, because I decided to use the 4 in the very, very back, so they're kind of hard to get to, and I didn't want them to wait. So I decided to put them all in and get them going, and blink, 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 and I'm just like, are you kidding me? And that's when it clicked in me. I was like, I did this right. But every time it's worked for me, it's the same Pi. And then I went through it one at a time on each Pi individually, and sure enough, they all worked. And then I did the research and found out the truth. So there you go. There's the final piece of this flashing an SD card mystery. Which sucks, because I wanted to have like a whole case of these SD cards ready to go, where we could just pop them in. So it seems like this is something we have to do per device specifically. Mm-hmm. So right. I mean, go ahead.
Like each device, if we had, like, let's say we have 12 Pis, I think we have 14. We have 14 Pis. If we had 2 SD cards of Pi, well, maybe you could have one serialized just for that stinking Pi.
But
fascinating.
To be fair, I mean, at least with this guy, it only takes like a minute to flash it.
Mr. Totu.
So, like, the whole process per SD card's like 2 minutes at most.
Yeah.
So it's not that big a deal. It's just, a process that you're gonna have to document and manually do, unless we can find a different way to go about writing that information. But I don't know. there you go. That's what I discovered just now, and thought it was an interesting story.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, there's that, and then there's why is the Totu device so good at doing the copy? We tried mine earlier today when I was down in the office, and
10 minutes.
My beloved Belkin is like, nope,
Conquer.
nope. So, okay. All right. So, how would we like to go about this?
Okay, so today's stream, we're going to finish up the automation. So you said, we went from doing it completely manually last week. And then the second stream, I think we did some workers and we joined the cluster manually.
Yes.
Third stream, which was last week, was doing it with configuration files rather than the interactive mode, right? And that worked beautifully. Mm-hmm. So now the question is, can we automate it? Can we say, hey, create an entire cluster?
Just by providing some inputs.
Right. So using a script. I'm thinking bash script. I've thought through this a lot, and you can set up a whole cluster with 3 or 4 commands using Talos CTL. So I feel like the best route would be just bash right now.
Yeah. The other option would be, or what would be the other option? Tmux. Tmux.
Well, I was thinking the other option would be like Ansible.
Right.
I just feel like that's overkill. All we have to do is run 4 bash commands. I mean, you use the Ansible to execute those bash commands. And actually, you can't even use that Ansible because Ansible has to SSH to the nodes.
Right.
Oh, but I think you can run it like headless on your local machine, and then you could just execute the bash commands. Whatever. I think bash is the way to go on this.
Yeah, unless they're with the way that the SD cards are specific to the node, which makes sense. Like now, hearing you say that, I kind of knew in the back of my head, but I didn't say anything, or I didn't know enough to say. It's like, of course, it's initializing something. It's initializing something important. Makes sense. But even when I was thinking about it this morning, creating because I was going to help. It's like, oh, I can help. I've got an SD card reader. That's good. I swear. I wanted to test it. I was like, oh, you could just have just one Raspberry Pi from the cluster. You could just put it on your workstation, USB-C, plug it into power, and just like use that to do your little initializer. It'd be really quick instead of walking to the rack and finding the thing. Here we are. You do have to do all that. There is some manual work to stand up this cluster. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally in favor of, it's a lab. It's simple. It should work every time. There's some manual steps, but this is where we're at with our Raspberry Pis. If we had some virtualized infrastructure, obviously it's a different situation completely.
Yeah, let's clarify that one thing. This problem we're running into is just Raspberry Pi related.
Yep.
Talos is compiled for everything. It looks like it's crazy. You look at the images they make, everything. So it has nothing to do with Talos. It's just like the pre-steps for Raspberry Pi are a little bit funky.
Correct. Thanks, Raspberry Pi. It is very nice to learn. So anyway, all right.
What do you think about jumping in and working on this a little bit?
Let's do it.
I gave it a little bit of thought, but I haven't really started anything. So let's just create a little bash script here, or start creating the bash script. Let's call it cluster, or actually, I like this, Talos create.sh. What do you think?
Yep. Perfect.
So let's start with the bash opener. Of course, it's going to do that automatically. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Let's do some pseudocode here. I'm thinking we do apply config control plane.
Mm-hmm.
Talos bootstrap for etcd.
Yep.
Wait for control plane to be initialized.
We might have to have a wait before we bootstrap. So maybe two conditions here. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually, control plane just keeps running and keeps running until the etcd cluster appears, and then all of a sudden it keeps going. Remember we saw that last time?
What I'm thinking, yes, I do. And what I was thinking about is there's probably a Talos Cuddle status of sorts that would get us something, I think. Normally we would look at the interactive dashboard and we could tell, like, maybe just the dashboard reporting back was kind of like, oh, it's up, or something's up. So there's probably a Talos Cuddle that is the equivalent of like, hey, it's probably good for bootstrap.
I think so too. And then apply config all workers simultaneously.
Yeah. Right. And well, or it was just going to loop over an array that we give it, right?
Wait for confirmation. Because I mean, it'd be really nice if our script ended with a Talos, Talos is running basically as like a final message.
Right. And I'm trying to remember. Well, here's where I guess we can explore. I can open up the documentation over here. The explore what sort of Talos Cuddle stuff we can get versus, because I know what Cube Cuddle stuff we can get. That may need to be part of our script if we can't get everything from Talos Cuddle, but I bet you we can. I don't know why we couldn't.
This service command sounds maybe retrieve the state of a service, control service state. So I wonder if I said like Talos CTL. Cool. So that one's still up. So let's just use that right now. And I'll say service. -H. Service. Start, stop, restart status. So I need to give it an ID. Okay, let's try running it without the H. Okay, so running it without the H gives me a health command. And it looks like I have kubelet, API D, container D, machine D.
So, and we gave it an endpoint of 26. This is the coffee cluster, right?
Yes.
An endpoint of 26, but the node of 27. So that's our worker.
Right.
Try.
But you can pass in multiple nodes.
Gotcha.
So I think we can say, it says strings. I'm going to assume it's a comma here.
Yeah.
And I can say 192.168.1.26. There you go.
All right, we do have a comment from YouTube. Craft Killer gave us a nitpick of our bash script initialization.
Okay.
And I will put it in the. I wish you could see YouTube chat. I'll send it to you. Bash isn't always under bin, is what he was saying. So he's just helping us out. Appreciate that a lot because we are going to need it.
Yes. Not a problem.
Appreciate it a lot. This is good. I feel great. We basically have AI going to be telling us how to fix our bash before we need to test it. So I appreciate it a lot. There we go.
Thinking here.
Mm-hmm. This doesn't have control plane on.
Was the API?
Okay, never mind. But there's 2 API Ds.
Oh, the control plane node is 26 here, and it has etcd.
Okay.
It also has trust D, which I don't know what that is. I think that's it. Let's look at the dashboard real quick. I guess what I'm just looking here is this ready was when it came up.
Right.
Ready true.
Is there a cluster level status in Talos Cuddle?
Checking. There is a cluster command. Let's try it. Shows info about a local provisioned cluster. Right, so it's looking for your Docker daemon running locally.
Just do the Talos Cuddle health with the endpoint and all the different things.
Got it?
That's actually super useful. You could probably get rid of the 27 and make sure that's just a 26. So this
might just be able to get rid of it altogether.
Yeah. Nope. It actually specifies give it the control plane nodes and the worker nodes. Oh. That's cool. I wish there was a shortcut for that one.
Let me do this one.
Yep.
Not supported with multiple nodes. Okay. There we go.
Okay. So that's a potential command that we could use in our conditional, where we can just kind of scrape for some of these strings.
Look at this. Wait dash timeout duration.
It would make sense if there was already just a super easy run Kubernetes end-to-end test. That's cool.
Discovered nodes. I wonder if you provide the list of worker nodes, it would just wait until those specific IPs become ready.
Timeout to wait for the cluster to be ready. Default is 20. So does this health check return once stuff is healthy?
Yeah, because it says waiting.
If that's the case, then this is the conditional, because it'll just hold. That's awesome.
Agreed.
Perfect. Nobody said anyway.
I don't know if we can use it for the worker nodes.
Well, we can tackle that one. Yeah.
All nodes. Hold on, let's see what this says. Waiting for all Kubernetes nodes to report. Waiting for all Kubernetes nodes to report. Okay. Waiting for all nodes to report ready. So what I guess we can test it actually. Let's just use -- worker nodes. And let's do 192.168.1.52, which doesn't exist. Okay, so it automatically is waiting, so we don't even have to pass in that command. And it's never going to find it. So it's waiting, and I'm assuming it's going to check again here.
You think it'll keep polling?
I do. But I'm curious here.
I think it's going to wait 20 minutes.
It will. Hold on 1 second. I have an idea. So the other worker node was 127, right?
Yes.
And then let's do control plane. Let me see if I can just copy this. Okay. This, and then this will be 192.168.1.26.
Yep. Huh. That makes sense, because there's no API ID for Talos on that work, or there isn't anybody home on 52.
Okay. I think I know what to do.
All right, let's go to the pseudocode. We've got a bunch of people following, a bunch of people happy to be here watching and following along. So let's go to the pseudo, and then you can tell us the big brain play here.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Unexpected nodes with IPs. Interesting. It's okay. I think we got it. So, big brain play here. Let's clean up. Let's make some space. Oh my goodness. It's been a while. Here we go. We're going to apply the config to the control plane. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our command from last stream. So ctl apply config. That's the worker. There's the control plane. So let's grab that first. Copy. Paste. I personally think we can just immediately bootstrap.
Okay.
Without waiting. That's just my personal take, but I'm happy to go whatever direction you want on that. Bootstrap. And here's our bootstrap command.
Yeah, let me think that through for a second. So, we ask Talos, hey, please turn this node into a Kubernetes control plane. Pretty please. And then we immediately then, or very quickly thereafter, say, also make sure you bootstrap etcd on that bad boy. Like, there's no massive interdependency between the control plane stuff coming up and etcd, even though other than the control plane won't start unless it can find etcd, which is kind of weird. You'd think he'd like bootstrap it first, but maybe there's a chicken and egg and this is just what they want you to do. Or I'm not thinking it through all the way. That's possible. Yeah, I think that's fine. If you want to sleep 10, you can always put a sleep. It's bash.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to.
I too like to live dangerously.
Okay, so this is what I think we have so far. So we do we apply the control plane config.
Okay.
We bootstrap, and then we use the health command here. And then it's just going to wait until everything's ready and healthy automatically, just because of the nature of bash. And then it'll go on to apply the worker config. Now I already see an opportunity for variables here.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it, I keep alt tabbing. Talos CTL apply worker.
Yep.
And then this one will be a list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the struggle train. There we go.
Should probably get a new Mac.
I'm working on it.
Question.
Yep.
Could we observe the flags for apply config briefly?
Yes, we can.
Okay. And is there a wait? It'd be really cool if there was a watch wait kind of situation here. Oh, well, what do they got? Mode, auto, interactive, no reboot, staged, try. Okay. That was worth looking.
It was really does not look like it.
We're okay. I don't even know what the difference between auto and no reboot are. I suppose that's something we could look up, but let's press on for now. I'm satisfied.
Okay.
People in the chat can correct us.
Did I need to make a change to the opener here in bash?
The suggestion from Craft Killer is to use user bin env bash instead of bin bash, because it's not always under bin. So I think it's a best practice. If it works on your machine, yes. It is #bang/usr bin env. User bin env space bash is what he's got here. But that could be a typo from Craft Killer. I suppose you could just try that.
That's what I was gonna do over here. I don't feel like the echo's correct. /user bin env bash. Okay. Looks good. Checks out. Do we want to add variables here?
I think we should get it to work first.
Okay.
I am of the iterative mind, but I could be, we could do, I think you just get it to work. Do we have, and in the interest of time, like, let's just see if we can get the thing to work, because I don't think people need to watch us refactor some bash to put variables in, even though there might be people that would really love to see some hard-hitting bash action. Let's get the IPs. Because when you get to there, like, people will do that however they want. People might not use bash. They could script this however they want. But the core workflow is what we're interested in sorting through today. To say, oh, you got a bunch of Raspberry Pis and love flashing SD cards? Follow this video.
I'm confused as to why port 9 no longer has a device. Refreshing. Port 9 no longer has a device. 1 second.
And now I'm sitting here talking to myself.
You are not. I can still hear you. The before. Port 9. Let's see. That's port 9. Okay, rebooting port 9. Weird. It was there before we started the stream. Okay. Light looks good. Coming back. Give it a second. See if it shows back up.
Okay. Now it's at least registering dark. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
good. Just a question to the people following along in the chat. Is anybody trying to follow along with us today? Does anybody have Raspberry Pis that you're actually using? Let us know. That would really help us frame the summary video that we're going to try to put together.
Good idea. All right, we're going to let that cook. Let's let that cook. Let's make port 10, so node number 5 here. Let's make that the master.
Okay.
So it's going to be IP 12. So we'll go 12. See, this is why it would be nice to have a variable here.
Yeah.
12. Go ahead.
I think you're fine to, if we want to put some variables at the top, then you can just say control plane, put the IP in once.
It's okay. It's been so long since I've written some bash that I would have to just refresh myself.
No problem. Yeah, I figured.
Because you know what I mean, right? We write a lot of fish, and then I start getting confused because fish refers to variables differently than bash, and it's been long enough. It's been like a year since I've written bash code, maybe more. So let's just go with this thing.
One thing I'm noticing, just kind of working through this ahead of time. If we go through our command history, we'll see apply config, bootstrap. We'll also see, I think, an intermediary command where we pull down the Talos config. Or do we get the Talos config from that cluster for free? When did we get that file called Talos config that you are referencing in that third command?
We got it when we generated the configs.
Okay.
So we will do that. We'll do that. So I don't want to open up a can of worms here.
I don't either.
But we could probably generate those files as part of this bash script and do like a grep or a sed on them to replace the stuff. I don't really want to do that. I kind of just want to do it.
Well, I hate that because I want to at least store this in Git. Like, I don't want to have to do that every time. Is it really the case? Huh. I hear you. Because, yeah, that would replicate, our exact workflow. But I think you and I were thinking in the same direction, which is, hey, we can generate these configs, we can tweak them. And then we kind of have that golden template of a control plane, that golden template of a worker, and we should be able to automate the rest, up until including getting a Talos config. One would think. Well, and I suppose that's where, if we have the static config for a worker and a control plane, then we could probably have a static Talos config that's got certs and stuff in it. It's going to be different every time. So let me scratch that idea. Anyway, we're going to run into something there, I think is my point.
Let's give it a try here. 1-1. Sorry, I am listening to you. I'm just also trying to keep this going.
You're fine.
192.168.1. What was it? 10. Okay. So those are the things. That being said, we do have to generate these configs.
So do we want to just do that ahead of time? You're thinking? For the sake of the demonstration.
I would have to, like I said, it's been a long time since I've been command lining, so I'd have to look at some docs on exactly how I want to run sed.
And they have that, and I agree. We don't need to triage that.
Oh, I hear what you're saying right now.
But I also don't want to troubleshoot sed commands. Or, I don't want to do this.
We don't have to set it. I don't think we have to set it.
Okay. Is it that patch? And
Yep.
all that?
No, it's as a part of generating them.
Okay.
Which one generated them?
Config.
Gen.
Oh yeah.
There it is. That was the command. But if I put a -h here, we can pass in
the disk.
Can we?
It's right there. Install disk. Defaults to dev SDA. And we want it to be our fancy schmancy Raspberry Pi one. So,
there it is, install disk. And we have to pass in, for the workers, the endpoint, right?
But that we already give it as part of the gen.
So that okay.
So that's free. I think the only
that was
thing,
the only change we had to make.
The only change we had to make was to the install disk because of Raspberry Pis, in our case.
We can test it.
Yep. This actually is really cool. So I guess we do this first, don't we?
So let me I'll just the worker YAML. And here's the disk.
Yes. I could have gave you that too.
Hopefully that's on the clipboard. I yanked it. So if I do make dir Talos automation. And then I do gen. And I use -- install disk space. Damn it.
/dev /mmc blk0.
Like that? MM, like a mouse.
McCracken, Makita, Chester, blk0. Yeah, block 0.
Okay. And then my control plane, the control plane node was number
12.
10, which is gone again. WTF.
I wouldn't. I don't know. It was 12.
Well.
Yeah. Port 10, IP 12.
Okay.
So copy
And then
that. Yeah, go ahead.
Gotta rename it. Talos Auto. Okay, I'm gonna copy this. Whoops. Gosh dang it. There we go. Copy. And that was gonna be right here, basically.
Yeah, step 1.
That should that generates everything we need: the Talos config, the worker YAML, and the control plane YAML. So I kind of want to run that command real quick, and then we can delete the files just to see what it looks like.
I concur.
Okay. Let's take a look at the worker. Okay, disk is good. And what if I say like 12? Oops, next. There she is, control plane endpoint. Beautiful. I think this is good. So let me remove star. Okay, and then I am going to, so that looks good. That'll do that. Then these will do the thing. And then we can wait for confirmation again.
Yep.
Potentially. And I think I'm just going to try it with the original, just the plain line here, and hopefully it discovers everything.
Okay. Is that kind of what you were feeling? Like just doing the health on the control plane tells us everything we care to know? That's the idea?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Which was right here. Why didn't that work for me?
Yank it.
I thought I did. Oh, that's why. I didn't P it. I did a command V. Okay.
Save the file. Chmod the file.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually move it first. Oops. Move. Shit. Move Talos create to Talos automation.
Yeah. Other future room for expandability is, we could always pass in what directory do you want to build this in, and context and all that. I think it's chmod plus X is what I usually do. People in the comments, please correct my Linuxy.
I always do 777 because I'm lazy. Yeah. Okay.
Let's look at it one more time. I think it's good. I think it's, if those IP addresses are living, then there's question on that. 12's our control plane. It's there.
It's up.
All right. 12's the control plane. And then 55, 11, and 10 are the workers.
Yep.
Okay. Save it. Ship it. And we have 4 other IPs in theory if this completely borks, right?
No. We have our one shot.
Is this one? Well, okay. We have 8 cards, but 1 shot today. All right.
Well, the 8 cards didn't work, remember?
So you only redid the 4.
Correct. I was
Good.
trying to hurry.
That's
for
fine.
the stream.
That's totally fine.
So this is a Hail Mary, and if it doesn't work, I still think it's a good stream. I mean, you get the idea.
We'll put our busted code on GitHub for you. All right. Fire the laser.
Firing the laser. So nervous.
Step 1. Okay. That's fine. That is half of what we theorized could happen. Yeah, just gonna, well, so yeah, because the bootstrap never happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna restart the pies really quick.
Because I think that first control plane got initialized, right? Or is this just gen and then you did apply config?
Aww.
Yeah. Did you just delete the things?
I did.
I was trying to. How do you undo a delete in Linux?
You know the answer to that.
Go to the Bitbucket. Go to the bin dev null. Is it just gone?
It's just gone. Let me try again. That wait command's not gonna work. We're just gonna try again. Yep, it's jacked. Sorry. But it didn't touch the others. So.
So all we got to do is 12 is dead.
Okay. Yeah, actually, you're right. Let's just do a 3-node cluster then.
I say let's go with a 3-node cluster.
Not a problem.
Okay, 55 is going to be the control plane. 55, you just got a promotion. You are no longer set to be a worker.
:/12/55/G.
Then
there. And then we'll. Okay.
Okay, it's going to gen the config. It's going to apply the control plane instantly. It's then not going to be able to bootstrap. And so we either need to put in a health that waits for the control plane, or we got to sleep, or something.
So, yeah.
Or we can just comment out the rest of the file to iteratively decide how we want to find that condition.
What is init node?
I don't know. I saw that earlier and it's like, well, init node. Interesting.
Because it's not. I know health isn't going to work because it's waiting for etcd, and etcd won't be up.
Let's see. Talos cuddle bootstrap. This command should not be used when init type node are used. Configuration. Init nodes. Init node type is deprecated and incompatible with etcd recovery. Init can be converted to control planes. I think that's old school.
Okay, so control plane node.
What happens when you run it? When just run it without the -h on the server or on the control plane? What did we get back? Because you really liked what this produced. Oh, we're not in the correct folder, so you just have to dot.
We could wait 30 seconds. Does it say whether we have to bootstrap second? Well, I guess we have to, don't we? We already ran into that.
Yes.
I want to find a good thing to do, but I also want to keep the stream kind of.
Yep, and I would say, that's where our sudo comes in. So it's like, just sudo in these possibilities while we're going through the discovery process here, or our thought process. It's like, this is where we could research what the condition might look like, check for that condition before continuing.
So let me just put a wait 30 here.
Yeah, wait or sleep. Is wait a thing? Yeah, wait.
Sorry, sleep 30.
Yeah.
I think that'll be enough.
Say echo sleeping. Perfect. Yo, what's up, Iceman Nick? What's up, Grizz?
55 is good to go. 11 and 12 for the worker nodes. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. Ready to fire the laser?
Let me look at it one more time. So it's going to do gen. We're in a new folder. We'll make sure that we're in a new folder with this exact file, or have deleted all the stuff. It will burn IP55 as our new control plane. Sleep 30. It'll then bootstrap etcd on the control plane node. It's going to run the health, and either health is going to succeed all the way or bail out. If it bails out, or it hopefully waits until it just succeeds and then continues. That's the thought. And then it's going to bootstrap the other two workers and give us another health.
That's the thought.
I am good with it. Just don't delete any of the files.
Roger.
Cool. All systems are go. People in the chat are saying hurry up and click it already. They're not. That'd be funny. I lied. Grizz was like, hurry up and click the button. I'm dying.
Already exists. Use -- force to overwrite.
Talos config file was empty.
Yep.
Wait, so there was already a Talos config in here? I thought we deleted everything.
Thought we did too.
Do a ll dash or do ll. Well, gee willikers, it's 4 minutes younger than or older than the others.
I did this remove command.
Huh. Did it put one there when we were? I don't know.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Because this time I don't think it hit 55 at all because it didn't have a Talos config.
Okay.
Yeah, error applying configuration. So just in case, -- force.
For science.
All right,
for the
one more time.
stream. For Eorzea.
Error applying configuration.
55. Is 55 alive? Ping 55.
Wow.
Look at you.
It's being pinged.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Please hold. So all the nodes are showing up again. Why can't it hit it?
$55 on port 50,000. Connection refused. Which is probably one of the Talos ports.
Weird. All right, well, why don't we let's do a let's comment this out. Try again.
Why didn't we ever see this before? What are we missing?
Unavailable connection error. Transport error when dialing TCP, blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's just been sitting there for too long.
Take the string from the script and just run the string.
Yep.
It's a shift.
What is it?
Hit escape. WQ, cat it, and then grab it. I think the other way is you hold shift.
Oh shit. One second. Okay.
Cat.
Oh my goodness. I'm just losing all composure now.
You're okay. Listen to my voice. Grab the command. Yes. If this doesn't work, then I have lost faith in what we did last stream. Okay. I don't know.
I think let's try one thing real quick.
Okay.
What number is 55? Node 6. Yeah, port 9. Okay.
I'm furiously Googling the error.
Okay, I just rebooted all of them. I don't know. Maybe the Talos thing only waits so long.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all rebooted. Let me try just running the script again. That the gen has been commented out though.
Okay.
So let me just try it. Here we go. Firing the laser. There it goes. So whatever thing is waiting on port whatever TCP connections on 50,000 died. So I guess you gotta be quick. Or not.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Same error.
So what's this say? This is connection refused. Talos API runs on port 50,000. Control plane nodes should always serve Talos API, while worker nodes should not. Make sure the firewall is not blocking 50,000. Make sure to use the correct Talos config client configuration file matching your cluster. Let's check the Talos config file that was genned. Okay, Talos Auto. It's got no endpoint. Okay.
Either does that one.
Okay. Good.
Weird.
Are we go to our when we ran that, we are using. Can you show me the command one more time? I know what our problem is.
What's our problem?
And this is kudos to the Talos Linux documentation and also pair programming while on stream, because it gets a little nutty and you're doing great. We must specify the --talos config when applying this config. It is trying to use your default context. That is why. Yeah, if you shift. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, Vim copy. Ugh. He's doing it. That one's good. The next one needs it. Then you're good. Okay. This is in the troubleshooting section of Talos Linux website. Very nice.
All right, firing the laser.
Very good.
Nope.
Gotta be kidding.
You were wrong. Apply config. Control plane. Control plane node 55 dash dash. Talos config. It's Talos config.
Okay. Sudo. It's probably not that.
We didn't have to do that before.
I know. I'm thinking about the only other things we're doing differently today are we are using a bash script to generate our stuff. So I don't know, file permissions and weirdness. We're doing something that's some nice person on the internet told us to start our user bin env bash at the start, which seems legit. Seems like it works fine, but I don't know. If I'm trying to find everything different, those are things that we've not done.
Well, yeah, but the thing is we're running the command manually and it's still not working.
I agree. And it's not like it can't read the file from our file system. It's having a hard time reaching out over the internet and finding port 50,000.
Let's just try one last thing. I think I find the fact that it's using 55 kind of odd.
Okay. Okay, so 11's our worker and 10 is our control plane.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right, and then uncomment the first one.
Yes. And I'm going to remove all those files.
Okay. Yep. LL. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
One more time.
And if this isn't it, then I guess we will have another stream. Here we go.
Okay.
$50,000. Why didn't we run into this last time? It worked just fine.
Let's see if we can manually let's see if we just get our bash script out and see if we can use our remaining worker and set up a single node control plane to see if that card in that device works. So we might have. I mean, the first one worked. We didn't have port 50,000 error on the very first control plane, right? Or the first node that we kind of borked.
Here we go. We're going to go 10. 10. Unavailable. So the Talos daemon isn't there. So maybe this is just me making a mistake with flashing the card somehow. Okay, well, I do feel like we provided content on this stream. I don't think we can take this any further without having to reflash all the cards, and
we're not going to do that today.
Yeah, we're not going to do that today. So I think we're done for now. And we will try again next week or the week after, because next week is the 4th of July. And maybe we'll have something ready to go. I'll have to experiment. The flashing has been a problem. Every time we do this stream, it's like getting the cards ready to go is the most painful part.
It is the most painful part. I have a feeling the next stream, not next week because we'll be off for the holiday. We'll come back and we'll be like, we learned another thing about flashing SD cards for Raspberry Pis with Talos Linux. And here they go. We could write a whole blog post about the 20 things that we ran into. They're very simple procedure that's like terrible, apparently. Or difficult for us. But good effort.
Frustrating.
It is frustrating. It doesn't seem like anything obvious. Port 50,000 on the node. It's like Talos isn't there listening.
Well, it's not. It's not. I just try to do it with interactive mode, so it's just not listening.
But the first one
did. Right. Good point. I don't know. It's very frustrating.
Maybe more of that script ran and like took over those nodes than we know. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. We will try again next time on the Cloud Native Coffee Hour.
Nice transition. All right.
And I am going to go have some coffee, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you very much, Makita, for your efforts. And thank you to all of our viewers on YouTube today. Appreciate it a lot. Makita, lots of people on YouTube today.
Wonderful.
And appreciate Nick and Grizz and all of our friends, Sam, and anyone I have forgotten. Thank you for watching us also on Twitch. I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July holiday. If that's your jam, at least go outside and get some sun, no matter where you're at. And we will catch you next time on the Cloud Native Coffee Hour. Bye-bye for
next
now.
time.